Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world, and welcome to Danny's Detours, where we talk about anything and everything life related. Consciousness is our campus. Welcome back to the channel, guys, and I'm Martin about again. Hello, with my two favourite compadres who are just over there playing with the ball, Paddy and Willow. Yeah, welcome back to the channel, guys. I'm just gonna do another quick. Just a chilled out one today, guys, short and sweet, but welcome to everyone who has liked, commented and subscribed to the channel. To all the new subscribers, welcome. If you haven't checked out any of my previous videos, the last couple of videos, I was away in the Lake District, so if you haven't checked them out, make sure that you go back and watch them and give them a good watch, because done quite a few different videos on that where we do cold water therapy, stuff like that. Basically, this channel is all about just making people aware of basically themselves, you know, the consciousness, you know, being aware that, you know, I talk a lot of things about, obviously, you know, like consciousness is our canvas, because basically, guys, right, it is when you think about it, because you know, your consciousness dictates everything, because that is where you're putting your energy and your attention, you know. So, like, people seem to think, oh, it's your mind. It's not. It's like analysing your mind. It's sort of like becoming, hello, sweetheart. Here she is. It's it's a bit like sometimes where you can get thoughts running through your mind, yeah, and you're not the owner of them thoughts. That can be external to things, circumstances or things that have happened in the past that you're attached to, that you're not willing to release or let go. You know what I mean? So it can be a case of like just becoming aware and knowing that, you know, your consciousness is everything, because it's like sort of like just being in the present right here, right now. You know what I mean? But yeah, Paddy and Will are over there. They're having, and listen, they're just embodying being who they are, which is the dog, you know what I mean? And I think what it is now, guys, right, because we are distracted by so many different things that, you know, it's hard for a lot of people to get a grasp on. A lot of people are lost and they don't know which way to go, do they? You know, like, they sort of like, they get caught up in the rat race, or like they'll think, I don't know, like even addictions and stuff like that, everything, whether it be drink, drugs, shopping, all these things, right? Listen, I'm not saying to do any of them, but I'm just stating it and telling it and seeing it. I'm just getting my feet out, doing my grounding. I do that as well, guys, on a regular basis, because that's a very good way just to reset your body and everything. But you know, there's so many distractions out there in the world right now that you know, everything's designed to take you away from your inner self of knowing what you are and who you are. You know, like even, you know, like I always go back to like even sports and stuff like that. Listen, I'm not saying don't watch sports or anything like that, but it's a distraction. Football, everything, teams, division. When you zoom out and look at it all for what it is, you know, everything's just one big massive distraction to take you away from what you are and who you are. You know what I mean? Like, look at Paddy and Willow. They're distracted now, but they're distracted by what? Nature. Mother Nature. Because I was talking about this in one of my videos, I think yesterday. And like, basically, Mother Nature, yeah, you've got the feminine, which is the feminine, because you're in the womb for 9 months. You know what I mean? And Mother Nature is here. Like, nothing in nature can lie. Everything is what it is. Everything's truthful. Nothing's man-made. Everything's just is how it's supposed to be, if that makes sense. Whereas, you know, if we look into, like, say, our reality or the world, the matrix, whatever you want to call it, everything's man-made. So everything's done in a certain set way to keep you off topic, or just to keep you in line, or just to make you follow a certain set narrative. You know, it's a bit like when you walk around on a path, yeah. What is it? It's concrete. which instantly what? Yeah, I understand that we have vehicles and we have commerce and stuff and this and that, but everything is designed to disconnect you from who and what you are. Hence why I'm grounding now, because what is that enabling my body to do? It's charging my body up, because that is how we reach up. We got told by the government, the elites, whoever, to recharge your body you must eat meat. You know, listen, no, because what did he do with meat? They fill it full of parasites. You know, the majority of the meat that you buy from the supermarkets, places like that, is filled with what? Parasites, which causes what? Cancer. You know, but once you start to break down the layers and you start to look into, like, there's a reason for everything, guys. They don't want you being healthy. They don't want you being happy. They want you thinking that you're happy, or selling you a package of what they're telling you happiness is. But that is not happiness. Like, they want you on a device, or they're staring at it, or a computer screen, or, you know, they want you going, you know, following a certain set narrative, whatever that may be. Like, they're implementing AI now because they know eventually, over time, AI is going to dumb people down so much. Because what I'm noticing now on X, hello Paddy, here he is, see, look, Paddy just wants his ball, that's all he wants, and then he's happy. See it? Ready? Oh. Yeah, sorry about that, guys, but yeah, AI is basically designed and put in front of us now to dumb us down, because we're going to be asking AI. Listen, and it can have its benefits, but it all goes down to duality and balance. Because at the end of the day, right, you know, you're going to be asking. You've got to look at your kids, right? Yeah, and think about it like this: when they're going to be at school now, why do you think, like, exam results and stuff? But listen, school's another big program. Everything's done to program the minds and make them get in line and a cog in the system and everything like that. They never tell you. My ears ringing just as I'm saying that. Wow, that's interesting. But that is very interesting. But they tell you everything in a way where it's to get you in line or to put you into a system, because literally all school is it's programming. They only work on the divine masculine side of your brain, which is the logical side. They never say to you at school, like, oh, well, how would you like to do it, or what do you think of this? You know, they never make you ask why. You know, it's always like, no, well, this is the answer, that's it, boom. The world is, the globe is round, that's it, boom. You know, but study this, yeah, NASA, you understand what NASA stands for? It means deceive, because they always have to tell you, guys, you know what I mean? I'm going a bit deep and a bit random and a bit off topic with all this stuff here, but, you know, once you start to realise that everything that you've been told in your life is a lie, but that's up to you to work it out and find it out. Sun's getting in way there, innit? A bit, but that's up to you to work things out for yourself, because I've always had this inclination, or this, like, just a little bit of, like, even from a young age, I always had this, like, little bit of an intrigue, or just a little bit like, well, that doesn't seem right, that. And I always used to think, well, why did he do it like that? You know, why is everything that they broadcast on the news negative? You know, why do we need politicians? We don't. Listen, a lot of it is all for what? Control. Because government stands for what? Mind control. So, you know, just a few things for you just to get thinking about, guys. And just, you know, because that's when you need to start thinking to yourself, well, how can I think for myself? You know, you need to be a critical thinker, especially in times like now, because they're attacking us from all angles, you know. And they're reprogramming the next generation to tell them that, you know, it's going to get to a point where we're going to go into a totalitarian state, and you'll say the wrong thing on your device, your phone, whatever, you'll put out the wrong tweet. Like, we're already seeing that, but, you know, it'll get to a point where, you know, you're not allowed to say anything. But at the end of the day, guys, we always was free, because we're free anyway. You can put anyone in any bad situation, but You can go inwards into your inner world and you can be at complete utter peace. Isn't that right, Paddy? But yeah, I think we'll leave it at that now, guys. I just wanted to have a little bit of a Saturday rant, you know, and just let people know what's going through my mind, and understand that, you know, to see my perspective on things and what's going on. But yeah, I think we'll leave it at that. But for me, Paddy and Willow, I hope you have a fantastic day. Love you loads. Peace.